Good morning, welcome back to my channel. My name's Leonie, aka Stitching Noni, and this is my little corner of YouTube. So this is my Flosstube channel, all about my documenting my cross stitch journey, and hopefully I'll have enough to fill in at least half an hour today. So this is my weekly update, and we are at Flosstube number 65. So it will be all of what I've stitched from the 11th of November through to yesterday, the 17th of November 2025. This last 7 days, stitches, not as good as I would have liked. So I only managed 2,867 this time around. And I have been averaging over, or not averaging, but getting over 3,000 in the last few weeks. So not quite sure what happened. I know like yesterday I didn't start till late. Sunday I didn't stitch at all during the day because we had the craft fair here at the village, and my husband actually had a store with his watercolors that he's been doing, so he did really well. So I wandered down there for a little while to help him, and that's where I got my new earrings from. A lady in the village who's in my craft group on Thursday makes jewelry, so I bought a couple of earrings from her, $5. Yeah, I was quite happy with that. And then there was another lady, I'll show you this right up front. So there's another lady there who's recently moved into the village only like 2 or 3 weeks ago, and they've moved down from the Midwest, and she does this amazing stuff. She does quilt runners, all sorts of things, you know, but she does book covers, notebook covers. So I grabbed this one, and okay, it was 25 bucks, so it was a little bit, but however, I know the work that's gone into this. It's embroidered on the front, obviously machine embroidery, beautifully stitched, absolutely beautifully stitched. So I was not unhappy to pay for the money. Now I've put my own current notebook in that I do for my stitching, but it did come with a notebook, and I'm very happy. So this is going to be my new stitching count book thing where I write down my daily stitch counts. So I thought I'd show that one up front. So that was why, so Sunday, so after we got home and Mark put everything away, then we end up across the road for coffee for a couple of hours, and so I didn't get any stitching done on Sunday, hardly anything done on the other days during the week. So yes, my stitches are down for the week, but that's okay. So my month to date for November though is currently 7,729 stitches. So I'm quite happy with that, and very happy with my year to date of 114,139 stitches. Love this not working. Yeah. So what did I work on this week? 6 whips. And unfortunately, they're the ones that you've been seeing quite regularly. So nothing new specifically at the moment, but next week will be different, sort of. So let's just get right into it, shall we? Because that's probably the best thing to do. 6 portals. Now I'm a little bit disappointed in myself. I was supposed to get 1,000 stitches in 6 portals this week, and I didn't for one reason and another. This is the 6 portals in full. So all 6 portals. It is charted by Paine Free Crafts from the artwork of Rosa Catherine Khan. I'm doing mine on 32 count easy guide, 1/1 full cross. I will be putting pictures up as per usual. So at my last update last week, I had done 1,228 stitches on portal 1, and I was flicking over to portal 2. Unfortunately, I've only managed 734 stitches on portal 2, and that's all of the black and the dark browns that we've got coming in here. So I'm currently now sitting at 1,962 stitches in total for this chart, and I'm at 0.20%. The size of this is 1,206 wide by 800 high, which gives you a total of 964,800 stitches. So yeah, even if I was lucky enough to do 100,000 stitches a year on this, which, it would still take me 9 years to do it. So yeah, or more. So I still want to get a goal of 1,000 stitches per portal for the rest of this year. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to move the Q-snap, but I'm going to spend some time on here to see if I can get a bit more. I'll just bring it in a little bit closer. So I obviously went right across to the far side of the portal in black, and now I'm concentrating in here a little bit to sort of do some fill in. And that's the join of the two portals just here. Excuse the dog snores if you can hear them. When I'm not rabbiting on, you can probably hear us snoring in the background. So what I'll try and do is do another couple of hundred stitches if I can on this one, or 200 plus. Then I'll move the Q-snap probably tomorrow, which means that I might not get a full 1,000 on. Oh, I won't put it back in the thing. I might not get a full 1,000 before next week on portal 3, but we'll just see how we go. I've got a bit of leeway as long as I want to try and get to 6,000 by the end of the year on that, and then I can go back to concentrating on one portal a month. And my retirement gift to myself. I've contacted Gus, of Gus's Creations, who I got my floor frame from last year. Last year? Yeah, early last year. I've had that just well over 12 months now. So I have put myself on the waiting list for a table stand. And what I'm going to do is have portals set up permanently in my study, which is where I used to work from home. And I will sort of turn that into a bit of a mini craft room. But that's going to be set up permanently on the table frame with all of the box of threads. And my hope then is I can try and put at least 100 stitches a day in it every day, because I can just go in there, just do it, it's done, walk away, go and do something else. That's my plan for next year. I'm not guaranteeing that that's going to happen, but we'll see what happens. So that's 6 portals. I'll just leave that one there and move on to the next one. So the next one that I've got out at the moment is a brush with Magick story keep. I had to try and work out where my notes were. You write notes and I still can't read them. So a brush with Magick. This is the story keep. It is a HAED. The artwork is Lisa Parker. I am stitching this on 25 count Lugana, 1/1 full cross. The size of the story keep is 150 by 519, 150 high, 150 wide by 519 high, which is a total of 77,850 stitches. When you saw it last time, I had completed 38,660 stitches, which left me at 49.66%. My goal for 2025 is 50% on this. And then as I sort of misspoke on my last video, I got my percentages all mixed up. But next year I will do another 25 to bring it up to 75%, with the goal being in 2027, I will only have 25% left to finish it in 2027, or less, depending on how we go next year. I'm currently sitting at, so I've put in another 741 stitches, and that is been in here and doing some fill-in around here, so just basically filling in, but I need to get this area down here, and it is a little bit awkward because it's right on the edge of the Q-snap. I probably don't think I've got actually much room to move it across any further, so it's a little bit tight, but so I do a little bit in here, I come back over here, do a bit here, come back over here, do a bit. So I'm slowly filling this down. This will come down a little bit more, but my main goal is once this is finished, I can move the Q-snap, and then I'll have a bit more of a go on this side that I need to bring down. I also filled in some more black in here the other night. So I managed to get 741 stitches in it this week, which brought me up to 39,401 stitches. But more importantly, I've hit my 50%. So this has now hit its goal. I'm at 50.61% for the year. Yes, awesome. So now every stitch that goes in is getting me towards my 75% goal. Awesome. I like that. So my whip update at the end of the year is going to sound pretty good because I've got a couple of these goals kicked through the goals. I'm done on those. So anything else I get in now is a bonus. So I like that. I started that, in case I forgot to tell you, which I think I did, on the 27th of December 2022. And of course, 6 portals I started this month. Now, during the last 7 days, we had the 13th of November appear. And on the 13th of every month, I work on Haunted House. Sometimes I'll do more than the day on the 13th, but I at least work on it and try to get 200 stitches in on that day. So this is Haunted House. I started this on the 24th of December 2023. It is a HAED and the artwork is from Dona Gelsinger. The size is 625 wide by 833 high, which is a total of 520,625 stitches. When I showed it to you on my last update video for this one, I was sitting on 14,250 stitches, which was 2.74%. I've added 407 stitches in the last week on the 13th, which was mainly around in that area. So I'm trying to complete another page. I'm now currently sitting at 14,657 stitches, which is 2.82%. 2025 goal for this is the 3%. So I am so close. All I need is another 962 stitches and I will have got my goal for this one for the year. Now, how am I going to achieve that when I've only got one more 13th of the month? I'm not sure. So that is at least 2, maybe 3 stitching sessions, depending on how many stitches I can get in each session. So I'm going to try and see if I can fit another day in this month. And I will probably need to do it for 2 days next month to get that goal done. I really do want to get that goal done. It won't get me a page break, unfortunately, or a page finish, because I've still got to come down and I can't remember exactly where the page is. But yeah, it won't get me the page finish because it's sort of around here. But I would really like to, if I get the 3%, I'll be happy with this one. Right, Haunted House. Well, of course, we had a Friday again, didn't we? So a Friday appeared. So what do I work on a Friday? Flamingo in flowers. So I did a few stitches on Flamingo in flowers last Friday. This was started on the 6th of June 2025. So again, a new one for this year. Charted by Stitches So Beautiful, and the artwork is by Eder, Rosa. Stitched on, oh, I forgot to tell you. I've got all this stuff written down and I keep forgetting. Haunted House is on 28 count Lugana. This is on 25 count Easy Guide, 1/1 full cross. Size is 160 wide by 400 high, which gives you a total of 64,000 stitches. My last update, I had done 7,313 stitches, which was 11.43%. On Friday, I put in another 303 stitches, which was mainly filling in here, I think. Might have done some filling up here. I really should have my before photo out to look. I may have actually done, bear with. Let me see if I can quickly bring it up. What did I do? I should have, I looked at all of these before I started, but the brain's gone good. Where's the album? Right, so what did we do? A little bit in there. Yep, okay. Hard to tell, really. So I think what I have done a little bit more in there, and but yeah, mainly again down in here, I think. But you'll see. I'll put the 2 photos together and you'll see. So this is now at 7,616 stitches, which is 11.90%. My goal for 2025, given I only had 6 months, was 10%. So I've surpassed that well and truly. So I'm now working towards my 25%, which will be next year's goal. So as I said before, every little stitch towards next year is going to be a help. I just love it. I cannot get over how beautiful this is. It's just stunning. Just absolutely stunning. So from memory, I think the flamingo starts to come in. Part of the flamingo comes in around here somewhere. So I will complete out, this is the whole width of it. So I'm going to complete all of this obviously over the next few weeks, and then we'll come back here and start working across again, and I should hopefully have some flamingo head come in. Excitement. But yeah, I love this. I really should spend more time on this, but at the moment I'm trying to get so many other little things done that it really only comes out on a Friday. But I love it. Absolutely love it. And in the Stitch is So Beautiful group at the moment, they've been doing a bit where they're promoting different people who are stitching on Stitch is So Beautiful things. Every now and then they pop up a little note to say that I've posted another update. So I really do appreciate that. Thank you very much. It's lovely that they mentioned me. I'm just a little cog in the wheel, but it's so nice to have somebody mention that. What's next? Cat bookshelf. So, cat bookshelf. This is the supersized cat bookshelf, cropped to do book 1 only for the, and I've forgotten it again, what is it, Randal Spangler book club sale? So the idea for that sale came from Kim Hollenbeck, and it was basically to try and use up your little small pieces of your easy guide or fabric that you've cut off from different times when you've cut up your fabric for your bigger projects, and then just to use it to fill in this. Now I've actually, this is quite wide, so I can actually fit 2 on here. So I'm doing 1 and then I will do another one as well, but I am concentrating on 1. I have cropped this, so I haven't got the full width at the top, and I've cropped it at the bottom as well. So it literally is just the book. So my cropped size is 80 wide by 438 high. So obviously this is the full width. My last update on this was, I was at 2,275 stitches, which was 6.49%. I've added another 176 stitches for this to bring me up to 2,451 or 6.99%. Now, I only put 176 in because I was finishing off a task for my floss group that I'm in, the Floss of the Fair group. My goal for this, a very ambitious goal, was 25% for the year. As you can see, nowhere near it. Nowhere near it. So I will readjust my goal for next year. It might end up being 15% or something. And what did I do? So while I was watching Siska's Flosstubes, this is what my task was so I put in all blue this time, so filled in some more blue. Love this. It's going to be really lovely when it's done. Don't ask me what I'm going to do with it when it's done. Might turn it into a little bell pull or something, but then I don't finish anything. I never fully finish, as you know, by my big box that's in there that's never fully finished. But that's an aside. That's a ramble. So yes, so that's all I've managed on this one, is another 176 stitches. So a bit sad. This will go away for the time being. I haven't got plans to bring this out again for the year. But that's not to say that it won't pop out. If I'm feeling one of those days where I just think, what am I going to stitch? And I don't know what to stitch, it might come out again. But there's no significant plans to bring that out between now and the end of the year. Right, final whip for my weekly work. Can anyone guess what it's going to be? So, it is Bernadette. So this is the HAED sale 2024 Bernadette. I started this on the 2nd of January 2024. It is designed by Richard Lorenz, but chartered by HAED, Heaven and Earth Designs, 25 count, easy guide, 1 over 1 full cross. Size is 275 wide by 238 high, which gives you a total of 64,450 stitches. I'm at the end of my last update, which was last week on this one, 63,057, and I was sitting at 96.34%. So what did I get done this week? Because I've got a goal to finish this year. I managed to add another, how many did I put in? 506 stitches. And I'm now sitting at 63,563 stitches, which is 97.12%. I am almost there. All I need to do is get another 1,800 stitches. So in November, I've managed to put in 2,133 stitches so far for the month. This is staying out, obviously, for the month, rest of the month. What I'm going to try is I'm going to see if I can go for a finish by the end of the month. I have worked out there is 13 days left in November. If I do around, so it's basically, it's less than 150 stitches a day. So if I can do at least 150 stitches a day in this will be done by the end of the month, which frees me up in December to do something else. And I would just bump things, sorry. So yeah, that will free my time up in December, which I had allocated to this. I keep bumping the table, but yes. So what did I do? Background. I'm just working in background. 3778 mainly, and I'm almost done. I was aiming to try and get that to zeroed out last night, but I didn't quite get there. I think I've got about 70 stitches left of that. And then the rest of it is just going to be, you know, obviously filling in the last, but this is it. That's all I've got left to do. Oh my God. I can't believe this would be my first HAED finish. I know it's only small. Well, sort of small. But yeah, I'm just like, oh my God, if I can get this finished by the end of the month, that would be awesome. So yeah, very, very happy with this. I'm going to miss her though. She's been such a go-to. When I finish her, I'm going to write down all the things that have happened in my life in the last 2 years that she has got me through. I am going to miss her. She's been gorgeous to work on. And I absolutely love the big Bernadette, but I'm glad I got this one to stitch because that background I think would drive me insane for the rest of it if I did the big one. So I'm really pleased. I just think she's just adorable. So yeah, almost done. It's done. Which means that this bag then will be freed up to put the 2026 HAED sale in. Yeah, that's going to need some work, but we'll talk about that next year, right? Because we don't want to talk about that too soon. Okay, so that is all of my whips for the week. So 6 whips, 2,800 odd stitches. Yeah, so hopefully coming week will be a lot better. So what are my plans for the next 7 days? Bernadette. Try and get as much into Bernadette as I can. 6 portals. Obviously try and do some more work on 6 portals. And so my thinking with that is 6 portals I'll work on today, tomorrow, which is Wednesday and Thursday. And we'll just see then where I'm at and whether I need to also do some more over the weekend. But the Ashes starts on Friday. So my Ashes stitching will have to come out. So we're going to talk about Ashes stitching now. So I'm going to bring out my little notebook where I've written down. So this is what I'm doing for the Ashes, the cricket series 2025-2026 Ashes series between England and Australia. The first test match starts on Friday, the 21st of November, 2025 in Perth. Awesome. I'd love to go and see it, but it's just, it's just too hard. I have been to a one day, many years ago, to a Ashes day, but Yeah, this is too hard to organise with puppy dog and everything else, but that's okay. I can sit and watch it in comfort while I stitch. So if I went to the actual game, I wouldn't be able to stitch, right? So it's a 5-match series. There are 5 days per match. And basically the whole campaign runs from 21st of November to the 8th of January when the last match will finish in Sydney. So we have the 21st to the 25th of November in Perth. And I apologise, I did talk about this a few videos ago, but I want to run through it all again so that everyone knows what I'm doing. So 21st to the 25th of November in Perth. 4th to the 8th of December is Brisbane. 17th to 21st of December is in Adelaide. Then we have the Boxing Day test, which is the big one. 26th to the 30th of December, which is in Melbourne at the MCG. Nobody does anything on Boxing Day except watches the cricket. Well, in our house anyway, that's what we do. And then the 4th to the 8th of January 2026 is the Sydney test. So this was my thinking, and I have added something else to it the other day, which I thought about when I was watching the news. So I have 2 whips, potentially 3, because one might get finished depending on the school. So my whip for Australia is my Koala Santa, which is a Mill Hill. I have started this. Maybe that's better. I have started it. When did I start it? I did make a note about that. When did I start this one? August last year. So the 11th of August last year, and I managed to only get 212 stitches in. Let's go like that. Maybe like that. So I did manage to get 1,212 stitches in. So that will be my starting point. That's his little hand there in his glove. So we'll see how far we get with this one. So if I do finish that during the series, I do have a backup, another Aussie one. So this is the Kangaroo Santa, and again a Mill Hill. This has not been started. So this is my backup if I manage to get that one finished. For England, now I haven't, I sort of did think about having a new start for this, because I do have one, I think it's, what's it called? Life is an Open Book London or something, which I think is the name of Stuart from HAED. But I thought I can't do that one because I've got some other starts up my sleeve. So I thought, no, unless of course I change my mind, because I've still got 4 days to think about this, right? Joke, Joyce. So what I'm going to do is for England is I am doing World Travel Bookshelf. Now, I'll put the picture up of World Travel Bookshelf because in there is a London scene. So you've got the bus, the big red bus and all that sort of stuff. Big Ben, everything like that. So that's why I've chosen this. This also needs a significant amount of work. It's had no love really this year. I think I've only worked on it about 3 times. So my starting point for this, and as you can see, I have more behind the Q-snap. So I'm going to put the picture up of what it looked like when I took the Q-snap off. And I've obviously done a little bit more. But I'm starting at 7.39% for this. Now I did have I just need to check my goal, what I had for this year on it. So I had a goal of getting to 10% for World Travel Bookshelf for this year. I'm currently sitting at 7.39%. It's not going to happen. I need another 10,000 stitches, right, to get that done. Yeah, ain't going to happen. So unfortunately, that goal, it's my fault because I haven't worked on it since June. In fact, I've only worked on it 4 times this year. Not good enough. There's just no way. I have got 3 pages already finished in it, which is nice, but I'd like to get another one. So I am going to spend a bit more time on this. I'll give you more stats, obviously, on this once we have this out next week. So that's why I've chosen this one particularly for my English team. So hopefully they'll do some good. So how am I going to achieve some of these stitches? As I mentioned, it's a 5-match series, 5 days per match, 2 innings each. So the scores will be 1 for stitches. So if in innings number 1, Australia gets 200 runs, 200 stitches will go into the koala. I have also got bonus stitching. So winner of the coin toss. I added this one the other day because that's a pretty big thing. So the winner of the coin toss chooses whether they bat or bowl first. So I'm going to do 100 stitches for whoever wins that. It also helps me because it means I can start stitching on my whip because I've got 100 stitches to get going on. And then I can then see what I need for the rest of the innings. So we also have on the batting team, so when the team's batting, if a player gets a 50, I add another 50 stitches for every 50 that we get. If a player gets a century, then I'll add 100 stitches. So if they've got hit a 50 and they get out at 99, that only gets an extra 50. But if they get 50, I would have added 50, and then they hit a century, which is 100, I'll add another 100 stitches. So all of a sudden, you know, we've got some players that could get, you know, this depends on the bowlers on the opposite team, but there could be a couple of hundreds at least, but there should be some 50s. Now, if that butter gets out for a duck, so nil score, then I'm going to put 50 on the bowling team because they've done a great job. If they get that batter out for a golden duck, which is out, no score, first ball, then the bowler or the bowling team's going to get an extra 100. So already the bowling team will be kicking up scores while they're bowling before they even get to bat. Then I've got the hat trick. So if a bowler gets a hat trick, which is 3 out in a row, 3 consecutive balls, they've got their hat trick, they get an extra 100 stitches. So you can see all of a sudden the bowling team is getting stitches added even while the other team's batting. So that's how we're going to go. Don't know how it's going to go because I still want to get Bernadette done. So I'm sort of thinking when the batting team is batting, I will stitch on that whip there and then. Then when the bowlers then become the batters and then when they swap over at the end of the innings or end of their innings and there's a swap, I can then swap whips and then they go in for innings number 2 and then I'll go back to whoever's batting and then switch over. So the whips will get 4, 2 goes, but there's 4 goes of opportunities to be earning stitches, if that makes sense. Next week, hopefully it'll make sense because I would have done, hopefully, some stitches. So depending on how we go, I would like to at least get this one finished. And I would like to get some good solid stitching into World Travel Bookshelf. So yes, we'll see. We'll see how we go. So that's the Ashes stitching. I'm really looking forward to doing that. So as I mentioned, 6 portals will be in before that. Whether I touch it on the weekend, I don't know because it really will depend on how those stitches go. At the moment, I meant to check the weather forecast, the predicted. I think, well, we've got overcast here today. I think it's going to be in the nice low 30s for Friday and onwards. So we should get some good solid cricket in. So I might not have time to do 6 portals, but we'll just see how we go. I'm not stressing over it. It is what it is. I've got, I think, a week or so up my sleeve for the end of the year on that one. So yeah. Last couple of things. HAED sale 2026. Yep. I've started kitting up Fairy Tale. I'm still not sure if I'm going to do it in 25 or 28. I've got fabric on both sizes, so I don't need to go and buy fabric, but I do need to buy, I think, about half a dozen threads. So I'm pretty much ready to go. It's just, I'm just not sure yet. The reason I'm not sure is I have another new start in the works for Christmas. More about that closer to the date. I'll put up the latest graph because as you will see, Wise and Brave and Glistening Wings are still neck and neck. Not much between them. And Fairy Tale now has 187 people doing it. So yeah, that's awesome. And I also had a look, and it looks like we've got about 1,800 people in the group. So, you know, might get that 2,000 milestone chart, but we'll see. I've also spent a bit of time this week going through my WIP list and working out what I'm going to drop or what I'm going to put into my little bucket that I can just take to my Thursday craft group and stitch. So like the little free gifts and cards, which are nice and easy to stitch. Not going to have plans for them specifically. They're going to go into a bucket and just pick and go, right? But there are some that I've had on my list for a long time. I really don't want to stitch them, so they're going to be UFO'd. So yeah, more about that in another video. I also was thinking what I'm going to do is, because I want to do my end of year wrap up, I'm going to pull the WIPs that I know I'm not going to be working on between now and the end of the year and start. Ooh, helicopter. Don't know where that's going. Yeah, so what I want to do is start doing a WIP parade. Sorry, when I hear one like this, I always think of fires because we've had a few little bushfires around the area. So when you hear the helicopter, it's like, hope it's not another fire somewhere. Lost my train of thought. Yes, so what I want to try and do is I'll start doing like little segments, vlog type segments of my 2025 WIP parade, and then I can put it all together and just have the WIPs that I'm working on right up until the end of the year that becomes my main one, and they can just be all sliced together. We'll see. I don't know. We'll see. Now, I don't know whether this is worth doing or not, but I know a couple of other YouTubers, Flosstubers do this, and they just have a book thing. So I thought I'll add it for this one. I don't know whether anybody's interested in the type of books I read or what, but I just thought I'd talk about, I'm not going to go into any real depth of my books that I'm reading. I'm just going to say what I've read for the month and what I'm up to, and just leave it at that. So very quickly, you'll see a couple of picks come up and then that'll be it. So far for November, I've managed to read 4 books. I'm reading another one at the moment. I use the Libby app majority of the time to get my books. I tend not to listen to audio books very often. So my reading time is usually first thing in the morning when I'm having a cup of tea, when I first get up, sometimes at lunchtime, and that's part of the reason why I haven't got a lot of stitching done this week, because I was reading until about 2 or 3 o'clock in the afternoon. And then I read at night, way past my bedtime. Yep, way past my bedtime. But yes, so these are the ones I've read so far this month. First one is a book by Tim Sullivan called The Patient. Now this is, I think, the 3rd one I've read in this series. The Libby app, I just put them all on hold, and then as they slowly filter through, and I think I'm coming up to almost the end of the series that's in the Libby app, so I might have to go searching for some other ones. So these are what they call the DS Cross books, and they are amazing. They are so good. His character of the Sergeant Cross has been building as the books are getting better, so really worth reading. I won't give anything spoilers away, but yeah, so there was the cyclist, the patient. Oh no, the patient's this is one. Yeah, the patient's this one. Politician, which I've just read, so I'll pop the Politician up, and I'm currently reading The Monk. So before that there was the cyclist, the dentist. That must have been it. Was it those? Have I missed one? Can't think whether I've missed one or not. find my search because I've virtually got a search for every time I want to get the pictures. Yes, so we have read The Dentist, The Cyclist, The Patient, The Politician, and I'm currently reading The Monk here. So they're the ones I've read. So I'm reading The Monk at the moment, which will probably be done in a couple of days, and then I'll find something else to read because I have to wait for the next ones to come up. I've also found this one by Deborah Fowler. Now this is the second one, but it doesn't seem to be any more. So this is called Secrets in St. Ives. So I read the first one last month, and then I read Secrets in St. Ives. Quite cute. Not a lot to say about it, but quite cute. And then I've also read the third in the Norfolk Murders, which is by Ross Greenwood. And this one was Death in Backton Wood. I think this was the third. Again, it's okay. Quite enjoyable, nice and easy to read. So none of them are hard to read, just nice and easy ones. So I basically do keep a list of the books that I read in our Floss at the Fair group. We have a reading room. So I've been collecting my list of them. So yeah, it's quite interesting going back over what I've read for the year and seeing just the ones that I've read. So I've actually read quite a few. I'm just looking to see. Yeah, The Dentist, yeah. I mentioned The Dentist, The Cyclist. I think The Dentist must have been the first one. The Cyclist was the second one. Then The Patient, and then Politician, and then The Monk, yeah. So they're the Tim Sullivan books. They're really good. So if you get a chance to read them, they're really good. And the character, he just grows on you. Amazing. Anyway, that's it. So I'm not going to give you storylines and stuff on them because you might as well just read them yourself if you're interested. Anyway, that's it. I'm out of here because I need a cup of tea. And I didn't make myself one this time because I knew it would go cold before I finished my video. So I'm going to pack up now and I'm going to start some stitching. I think it's hubby's out, so I'm going to start some stitching. I'm going to, if I can, I will pop in some photos. I think he's got some photos that he took of some of his watercolors that he's done. So I might just pop some at the end. He did sell 5 of them when he was at the craft show, so he's really happy about that. But I'll pop up a few photos of what he's done. So that'll be at the end. And other than that, I'm out of here now. So thank you very much for watching. Thank you for liking and subscribing and commenting. Very much appreciated. And I'll be back next Tuesday for another update. And you'll see what I've managed to do on the Ashes stitching. So until then, catch you later. Take care, happy stitching, and I'll see you in a week. See you later. Bye.